If you're one of those adults that look at the teenagers of this day and young people and just shake your head, I want to offer something up to you. Number one, I want to ask you this. What do you do to contribute to your future? I'm not talking about your plans for the future. I'm speaking realistically about the future. See, because if you plan on living for the next 5, 10, 20, 30 years, depending on how old you are, you're going to encounter these same young people. Prayerfully, you've done your part and created relationships with some of them wherein they can appreciate you and take care of you and treat you respectfully. But in so many cases, we look at them, we shake our heads at them, we point our fingers at them. They take the blame for stuff that actually isn't their fault. See, they take the blame for the fact that our education system sucks. It does. The worst in any nation. Our education system sucks. Okay? They take the blame for the environment in which they live in. You look around and we can, from the outside, look and say, oh my God, I wouldn't want to live there. Imagine how the child who's growing up in that environment feels, where they're unsafe, where they're attacked, where there's no love. Imagine how they feel. But we point the finger at them and we say, what's wrong with you? Why do you act this way? Why do you behave this way? Take a step further back and look at what's being promoted to them. What's in their visual? I was having a conversation with a really good friend of mine a few days ago, and we were talking about all the wonderful shows we used to watch. You know, we liked Happy Days. You know, we liked the Cosby Show, which came on as I got later on into my teenage years. But I appreciated those shows because they were positive. And I know Bill Cosby is in his issues dealing with his mess, which is a human thing. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is people providing positive reinforcement, positive people. And I'm not saying role models, because one thing that I learned growing up is the only role model I can have is me. I have to create myself into that which I want to be around. Just a reality. But realistically speaking, our kids have the worst shows and music in history available to them. And that's pretty much all that they have. Even Sesame Street's turned into a soap opera. Don't know why or when that happened, but it is the case. And so we got garbage music being pushed out to them. We have reality, non-reality TV shows. And this is what they emulate. And so we see them walking around with their pants sagging, and we get upset with them. Or we see them, you know, cussing and hollering and yelling. Parents act the same way, though. Check that out. As a matter of fact, not only do the parents act the same way, but if you step back and look at our politics, our politicians, how messy they are in the midst of doing whatever it is that they're doing in terms of campaigning. It's messy. See, we teach people to compete, you have to down others. It's not true. The reality is the only competition you have is you. See, because you're the only person on your same exact path. You're the only person that's going to end up where you're going to end up. So it's you. But we don't teach our children that. See, we teach women and girls to belittle one another and fight against one another for a man or for a position or for stuff or for attention. We never teach them to give themselves attention, to learn to look in the mirror and say, baby, I love you, girl. We've got to learn that. We've got to teach them that.